Welcome to Raw Talk, Real Healing.
It's like therapy, but with more laughs and less copays.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Diana.
We're licensed therapists.
But here, we just want to have raw and unapologetic conversations.
So come vibe with us. We're professional meets personal.
Let's get it.
Girl, welcome back.
Take motherfucking two.
Woo!
I am so sad.
I know.
I've had 2 heartbreaks this week. Not one,
But two.
First, started out with the audio not uploading. We finished that episode and we were like, bitch.
Like, that was good.
That was fire.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best ones
Yeah.
that we've ever recorded.
Yeah.
And then I was just like too angry, needed a reset.
But we're here. Guess what? Radical acceptance.
Yep. It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's why this one's going to be even better.
Hopefully so.
Yeah.
My second heartbreak. Y'all might need to pit me. Tonight is game 3 of the National League Division Series. When we videoed on Saturday, my hopes were high.
I know.
My hopes were high. I'm like, first game tonight, home field advantage, got the Dodgers. Let me down. Went Monday. Hopes were up again. I'm like, yeah, you know what? They never lose 2 in a row in the postseason at their home field. And you know what those motherfuckers did?
They lost.
They lost, but not in just any way. They almost got blown out. And then they came back in the 9th inning and lost by 1 motherfucking run.
Damn.
Yeah. And talk about people going wild in the stadium. People was crazy. I was crazy. My throat hurt. I had minimal voice. And so tonight is the last chance.
Well, let's get this going because I know you need to get home.
Sure
Your nail
do.
color is so cute, by the way.
Thank you. It is called Cherry Mocha
Ooh.
by D&D. So if you
It
want,
looks like cherry, but like brownie. I love.
it. This is my favorite fall color.
Yeah, it's really
Shout out
nice.
Denise at Pinky's.
Ooh.
Next to Starbucks. This one. So good.
Mm.
She have you in and out. 35 minutes.
I
done.
love that.
And she even gives you like a little stand for like your phone or whatever to like listen or watch. I had my Kindle on there and I'm like, it was great.
Love that for you, girl.
Right? It actually makes me like getting my nails done.
Good. Good.
What a switch up.
So, take 2.
Here we go.
Here we go. Attachment styles and relationships.
Dun, dun, dun. Let's talk about the hype.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about the hype. Let's talk about the buzzwords and why everybody is so fixated on this topic these days. Because it's important.
Mm-hmm. No, it really is important.
It's a big deal.
It is. But see, it's important and a big deal, but I feel like people just take it and run with it because they see it everywhere. And then they're like, oh, I'm this.
Just like everybody's a narcissist.
Yeah, exactly. So let's break it down.
Okay.
And let's see where we go.
Okay. So what does attachment styles affects? Oh my God. What does your attachment style affect? It affects your relationship patterns.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from your parents, your caregivers,
Mm-hmm.
that initial relationship that you have with the primary person in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it shapes how we connect, trust, and communicate with others.
And that's important. And when we say others and relationships, right, we're not just talking about intimate relationships or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your spouses. No, we're talking about friendships, coworkers,
Anyone.
anyone, all these relationships that you have, your attachment style has a lot to do with, why you present with some of the things.
Hmm.
And so let's break this down.
Yeah. So when we consider our attachment style, there's 4 different kinds.
Hmm.
We have secure, anxious, avoidant, and then disorganized, which is a little flipper flopper.
I know, because I think he was like, "Oh, I resonate with that." And I was like, "Flip floppy ass bitch."
Yes, he did. So sad it wasn't going to be in this one. Thanks.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's funny. So let's start with top notch. Secure.
Hmm.
I'm a
This
secure ass
is
bitch.
this is who you want to be.
Yes.
If there was a Louis Vuitton of attachment styles, this is the one.
Okay.
Maybe Chanel, Birkin.
I love it.
What's better?
I don't know. I'm not like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say I'm not a designer girl because I have designer, but
We all designer girls.
that's true. Okay, so what does secure look like in your everyday life?
Secure looks like trusting others,
Yep.
being comfortable with closeness,
Yep.
being able to communicate your emotions, being able to manage conflict. And by managing conflict, I mean communicating through it, using I feel statements, not crashing out.
Cause that crash out with these attachment styles
Self
looks
sabotage.
looks crazy sometimes.
Mm.
Yep. So, like in a relationship, right? I know how to give love. I know how to receive love. It feels natural. I'm trusting of my partner, because I've learned and I bonded, with my caregivers and I know what trusting relationships look like.
Right.
I've never, felt abandoned or, whatsoever. So, like, this stuff is strong.
Yeah.
I can communicate even in relationships like, Gabby, I'm upset, this is what you did, or whatever it looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. And we're okay with having these conversations.
And when you can communicate these things, because I think I think a person who isn't securely attached, so whether you're disorganized, anxious, or avoidant, sometimes you can still communicate these things, but you personalize them.
Mm-hmm.
You make it about yourself when it doesn't have to be about you.
Mm-hmm. Taking it personal. It's the worst thing that you can do.
Exactly, because that's when the self sabotaging behaviors start to come out.
Mhm.
That's what could be the crash out.
Yes. Yep. So we decided we were going to give people like an example
Yes.
of like a character in a movie to make it like, just explain it a little bit better.
Yeah.
This was your example.
Yes, all the examples come from myself because I am the TV girl.
Yeah.
I'm not a movie girl, I'm a TV show girl.
I'm a movie girl.
Okay, so the example that I thought of when it comes to like a securely attached partnership or person is the Taylors and Friday Night Lights. If you have not seen it, watch it. It's on Netflix. It's a commitment, but it's a good show. But there is a couple, and they are parents of like a high school girl. The dad is, I forget his name. The dad is the coach of the high school football team. And the mom, for a while, I believe she's a stay at home mom, Tammy Taylor, but then she becomes like the school guidance counselor. But throughout the whole series, they demonstrate trust within one another. They have appropriate boundaries. They can communicate through their conflicts, and they do show conflict. And at times, I think there are moments where like somebody raises their voice or something like that, but they're always able to communicate through it, trust one another, set boundaries, and they definitely do like a give and take with one another.
Mm-hmm.
At points, Tammy Taylor takes a step back from her career. So, Taylor, Coach Taylor, that's what we'll call him. he can, encompass his whole dream of being a college coach and things like that. So they are definitely able to navigate through challenges, and that is shown throughout all of the seasons. And just really being able to trust, love, communicate, and show that they don't take things personally when it comes to like, I need to do this for myself.
Yeah. My dumbass thought Friday Night Lights was a movie.
It is a movie.
Oh, I was about to say, you said a TV show.
There's a movie and a
And-
TV show.
Got you. I was like, I saw that movie before and I don't remember.
Yeah. So there is a movie. I don't think I've seen the movie, but I've seen the show.
Gotcha.
And then another example of it, just to show this and on a friendship level, is Grey's Anatomy. Christina Yang and Meredith Grey. They meet in residency, and they are ride or die throughout the entire show. And towards the end of the show, when Christina's like not on the show anymore, in the show they have her go to like Switzerland to like run some like new, I think she's cardiac like whatever, and they still communicate with one another. They maintain like a long distance relationship by still supporting each other and just really being there for one another through thick and thin.
In essence, it's healthy.
Yes.
Being secure means like, we know we're not perfect.
Right.
Radically accepting shit that happens and working through it.
Right.
Right?
And being able to come out on top in a way.
Mhm.
Like come out not taking things personal, not holding grudges, not having resentment, understanding one another, one another's needs, and being able to talk it through.
Yeah. Then we have dun dun dun
The activated nervous system.
that damn anxious attachment style. This shit right here
Looks crazy.
looks crazy. I wish I could give an example. I'm so bad at that. Like what that may look like.
What do you mean?
Like movie wise or like a character or somebody that's popping right now. But we'll get to that anyways. So anxious attachment always needs outside validation, right? That reassurance from other people.
Yes.
Fear of abandonment. So this means growing up, childhood, caregivers, something went wrong here.
Yeah, it was a moment or moments where you felt that you didn't have support. Your parent or caregiver could have physically been there, but they may not have been emotionally available.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Or they weren't consistent.
right.
No consistency in what that looks like, right? You're finding rejection in anything. Like any little thing is like, oh my gosh, this person or this, whatever. I'm like feeling rejection. Calm down.
Right.
Calm down.
My favorite thing to say, and my therapist used to say this to me, is she would say, if you look through life with rejection goggles on, you're going to see rejection in everything and anything.
Mm-hmm. Overthinking. Over analyzing. I was just talking to my client about this. And we were talking like, you gotta stop because you're gonna sabotage this new relationship,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just by habit. But when we think about her childhood, her growing up, her parents and, their background is like, yeah, I know why.
Right.
So like,
it makes sense,
yeah,
but we got to be aware. We
We
have
gotta
to
be
have
aware.
the insight to be able to recognize when this is happening so we can show up differently.
yeah, yeah. Struggles with distance.
Mm,
That's like that codependency. Like I gotta be close at all
yeah.
times. Like if I'm not close, then like something's wrong.
Right.
Or like always thinking they did something wrong. What? Why you making
I
that
did
face?
this the other day, remember?
Oh,
And I was like, oh, we could talk about this when we redo it.
that was so funny.
I'm like, I was walking around. I'm like, that's it. I'm like, Mike, she's bad. She wants me to do this today, but I just don't want to.
Was that really like going on in your mind?
Oh my God, yeah. I'm like, Mike, she wants to do it today, and I just don't want to, and she's gonna be mad at me. I swear to God. And then you were texting me back in church, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's it. She's mad. She's I was
So,
like, Diana, are you upset?
you know what? No, this is good, right? Because I'm like, I don't want to ignore you when you were texting. So I'm like, let me just hit like a heart or like a thumbs up or like something. And the whole time you're like, probably thinking like, oh, why is she being so short? But my phone keep going off. That's why I should turn my phone off in church.
I didn't even know you were still in church. What time did you go to church?
10:45.
That's late.
Late. Well, I used to go to church at 12. So
Mm.
when I used to go in the city. But anyways, I was like, girl, it's not that serious. My bad. I was in church. Like, are you mad? I'm like, mad? Why am I mad?
But you see, this is how this can show up in friendships.
Yeah.
This is a perfect example.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. We're
And
good.
I know that. Like in the moments, I know that. That's why I'm like, do I ask if she's upset? Is
Mhm.
everything fine?
But also, some people won't even ask.
No.
You know what I mean? And so, like, which brings us
So they
to,
like fear that they did something wrong and then
Mhm.
just spiral in that.
Yeah, and then they'll start crashing out.
Right.
Right? And then you have someone who won't ask, like, hey, are you upset? Or are you mad? And which brings us to the next one. Oh, no, wait, we have to give that example.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's give that example of the anxious.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't talk today. What the fuck?
We tired.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Phillies.
So, what's your example that you gave for anxious?
So I feel like a more popular show at this point, and definitely within like mental health being more relevant these days and stuff like that, is Ginny and Georgia. You should really watch.
No, my sister watches that, and like somebody else was telling me about it. I heard it's a pretty good show.
It's a really, really, really good show. And I think the way that they depict mental health in it, it's not overdone. Like, you know how certain things, like, they put it in shows just to, like, put it there and it's just like, ew, why did you do this?
So it was like very strategic.
Yes.
So like sometimes when like that happens, like in TV shows or in movies when we're watching, me and Jamal would be like, ooh, subliminal. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like the way that it's put in there is very, like, good. There's self harm in there, there's personality disorders, there's depression, there's eating disorders, definitely a little bit of OCD. And the one that I'm thinking about with OCD is Maxine. And Maxine is also the one that has the anxious attachment because she feels emotions very intensely. And I think a lot of times people who have anxious attachments, they do feel emotions super deep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing that I used to always say, like, oh, I feel the vibe. I know that this is gonna fizzle out, or I know that this relationship, this person is like pulling away. And I would say it to my sister all the time, and she would be like, well, how do you know? And I'd be like, well, this, and this. But that's because I'm like overthinking. So
Like
in
how you were overthinking that I was mad.
yes. So in Ginny and Georgia, Maxine does the same thing, and she's that person that wants to talk about it. And and her group of friends, they're really not. So she's like, "Oh my god, I know you guys really don't want to talk about, but I need to talk about it, and I feel like you're mad at me." And oh my god, and she's very dramatic with like a squeaky voice. So I think like they make it very prominent, but it just works for her character.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna check it
Yeah,
out.
I think it's pretty good. And then the other example that we talked about, which is something that I think most women on the planet have watched,
Hmm.
is Sex and the City.
Yes.
Carrie Bradshaw with Mr. Big.
Yeah.
That is the perfect pick me, choose me, love me
Yeah.
example. That's actually a line from Grey's Anatomy, so maybe she was a little anxious too, but
So now
perfect example.
yeah, so now we go into those were good examples by the way.
Thank you.
Now we get into avoidant,
Mm.
which is what I was saying before, like, not asking the questions and just like, you know what, I'm just gonna self-sabotage, I'm gonna let it fall, I'm a ghost you.
Right. This is the person who will ghost you.
Oh,
As
yeah.
soon as, excuse me, this person feels closeness, feels vulnerable, they get uncomfortable and they
Mhm.
pull away because
Mhm.
closeness and vulnerability equates to you're going to hurt me, you're going to abandon me.
Right. Yeah. So this person, the avoidant attachment style person, values independence.
Right.
Like they're self-sufficient. They're like, I got it going on and I can do it by myself and I don't need nobody, that kind of situation. But also they're going to shut down.
Yeah.
They're going to shut down. They withdraw if like you find yourself like in any situation with conflict or confrontation and you're just like, whoop, all right, getting out of here.
Right.
You're avoiding.
Right. But what are you avoiding in those
Right.
moments?
Exactly. This is the person that actually becomes distant,
Yes.
will detach themselves
Yes.
from, any situation. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be work. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, bye. I'm out of here. Right? They struggle expressing emotions. They're not going to
Mm.
tell you what they feel. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm good. Right?
Mhm.
I feel like we all been there. And I think it's important to say, like, you may have some characteristics of not just one, but two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of these and like a little bit of everything,
Which is possible. I
Mhm.
think when somebody starts recognizing their behaviors and they start working on their attachment style in certain scenarios or in certain days, even, they can show up more secure.
Mhm.
But there might be moments where the anxious attachment still gets the best of them. Or, if you do have a little bit of anxiously attached or avoidant attachment, you can, both of them together would be disorganized.
Mhm.
So I think if somebody can present securely at times, but they can also still be a little bit disorganized at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So this avoidant person is going to be your person who pulls away all the time. So
Hmm.
like the most important part is just recognizing these patterns.
Right.
Recognizing like, how do I respond to things? How does my partner respond, to things? So again, that avoiding person, bye,
Peace out.
Felicia.
Right. Right. And I think it's super important to have this insight because that's what we're saying. We keep saying, the insight, pay attention to how you react, pay attention to what your behaviors are. Because in these moments when you feel that your nervous system is triggered and you start feeling anxious, because I think ultimately both of these people feel anxious in these relationships, but they just manage it differently.
Mhm.
So when you feel this, ask yourself, like, what did this person do or not do that I feel this way? And is this really about me?
Mhm.
And what could be going on for them? I think it's really important to recognize, like, what could be going on for that other person.
Mhm.
So, like an anxious person, if they're in like a texting conversation and the other person is being short, or the other person, isn't responding, ask yourself, what could be going on for that person? Are they busy? Are they in
I was
church?
gonna say that.
Are they working? Are they napping? Like what other possibility could be going on other than they're mad at you?
Right.
Like it's not always personal.
Mhm.
Uh, Sometimes it could be, but I feel like majority of the times it's not.
Yeah. Which leads us to the last attachment style, which is disorganized.
Yes, but we have to give our example
Oh, why do I keep forgetting about the example?
because we flowing.
I know. Okay.
The avoiding character. I have a different one written down, but I was going to say Mr. Big, but because I was going to say we mentioned him a little bit. But the other avoiding character is also from Sex and the City, and this is Samantha.
Mm.
She uses sex to feel like that emotional closeness, but
Mhm.
then immediately pulls away, and that's all it is for her. She doesn't want to be in a relationship. She values her independence. She just makes sure she gets hers.
To each his own, girl.
Right. And I think that is typical behavior for an
Mhm.
avoidant
Yeah.
attachment style.
They're for self
Yes.
because they're fearful.
To rely on others.
Yep.
Because if you rely on others, you're going to hurt me.
So now we have disorganized,
Back
which is a
to it.
little, mixture, right? Of a little anxious, a little
Yes.
avoidant, right? Both of those patterns, you're going to see that here. You're going to see that push pull
Yes.
kind of situation. We definitely got a little bit of a history of trauma
Mm.
when it comes, to this, the consistency in caregiving.
Right.
We're going to see that here. So this could really look like one, caregiver that's present and then the other caregiver isn't,
You're right.
like a parent or so. And so like there
Yeah,
is
like
some consistency.
if you were raised in a single parent home,
Yeah.
this would be
Mm-hmm.
not uncommon
Yeah.
for you to
Yep.
experience.
So like this person wants closeness, but is scared.
Right.
Like I want that. I desire that, but I don't really know how to give it or receive it.
Yeah. So this is where I, kind of resonate the most. I shouldn't say the most, but for a long time, like only my anxious attachment would show up.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I started going through like a dating process and stuff like that, I realized that in my past relationships, I was a more avoidant person because the other person was either secure
Mm-hmm.
or anxious.
Yeah.
And if I'm thinking back now, I'm thinking of like my journey and this point in time. I had a very anxious, probably secure, and then extremely avoidant. So in the first one, I was super avoidant and I was like, get out of here. Like, this is a lot. I cannot be your primary source of entertainment. I remember I said that, get out of here. Then in my next one, I was just like, they were definitely secure. And I was just like, ew, I don't like this. This is boring. Because there was no chaos.
Yeah.
I was never triggered.
Mm.
Then my next, like, more long-term relationship, definitely avoid it. Like, 3,000%. And all I did was, like, claw for, like, love and attention and to feel important and to feel like a priority. And if I look back at that relationship because of that, I self-sabotaged every day, pretty much. And then I would be so angry because I wasn't getting what I wanted. But the more that I was self-sabotaging, the more that person was pulling away.
Yeah. Yes. That's a good point because it really shows up like that. Like when one person has one attachment style and the other,
Right.
like, y'all can start creating some hotness express right here, So that's why
I'll
it's
move on.
important. Yes. Go check that episode out. This is important. And I also feel like I resonate the most here, or at least I used to, in past relationships and even in the beginning of my relationship because no one teaches us this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to learn the fucking hard way.
Right, and if we do learn anything or if anything is taught, it's the attachment style that we have.
For real.
We're just not taught, like, the right way, and maybe some people are.
Yeah.
I mean, there definitely are securely attached people out there who were taught,
Yeah,
secure attachment, but if you didn't have a good example, how were you supposed to know?
exactly. But here we are. When you gave this example of who is disorganized, I was like, of course. Of course you would pick this person.
Why?
Because you fucking love this
Okay, so
shit.
this person that I chose to be the disorganized character, Tony Soprano. If there is one thing about me, I love me a mob. Mob or like organized crime. It can go really anyway because Sons of Anarchy loved that too.
Oh, that's my show.
You watched that?
Love. Yeah.
Okay, you want to know something?
What?
I just figured this out yesterday. So you know how Netflix does that monster series? And they do like they did Jeffrey Dahmer,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
did the
yeah.
Melendez brothers or whatever. Well, they just did one on Ed Gein.
Oh.
And I'm watching this show, and the whole time I'm like, damn, why'd they make Ed Gein so cute? I'm like, he's attractive. And I'm like, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I know this person. I'm like, where else have I seen him? Driving me insane. So finally I Google it because
Sons of Anarchy.
it was fucking Jax Teller. They made him a serial killer,
Did they?
a schizophrenic serial killer.
Oh, I gotta watch that. I love shit like that. Jamal be like, you crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, me and Mike were watching on the couch, and I was like, I'm like, I'm gonna have nightmares.
Nightmare.
I like that stuff too, but like too much of it in one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we got to turn this shit off.
Yeah. I just like, I mean, obviously in what we do, like just knowing like what type of shit you went through
Yeah.
that got you like this.
Yeah, and at the end of I didn't watch the full thing, but Mike did, and at the end of it, he was like, "It was making me mad because they almost wanted you to feel bad for him."
Mm,
And I was like, "But in a way, like, I kinda do."
mm.
But, like, he just doesn't get it because he's not a
They
therapist.
won't make you feel bad for him because he's cute.
Jax Teller. I was so
You fell
mad, though.
for it.
Yes, but anyway.
Yeah.
Tony Soprano.
Mhm.
He is very much so disorganized. He wants that closeness. He wants that attention from his wife, Carmela. This is who my dog is named after.
Yes.
Actually.
That's why I said you would say that.
So he wants that with his wife, Carmela, but then he constantly, throughout the whole series, he's cheating on his wife with multiple different women. And I know I had said this in the show, they're called gumads
Mhm.
because that's just what they call.
And didn't you say it was like 68 different women or something like that?
I might have said 68, but that's not like.
Oh, I
I
was
was-
like, how the fuck does she know 68 times? This bitch keeping tally?
That show is, but it's kind of sick though, because I'm watching this show and I'm watching the stuff that he's doing and I'm fucking cracking up. Like, that's sick.
I know.
I don't know that that's normal, but it is. Like, you don't, if you watch the show, like, it is intended to be funny at times.
Yeah.
And the humor in it, I just feel like I get it
Mhm.
more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I love shows like that. That, Sons of Anarchy, Blacklist, Power, all that. Love it.
Yeah.
That's my kind of.
Sometimes I can get into a show. Lioness. I think that's the last show that I watched.
I didn't watch that.
No? So good.
Is it like organized crimey?
No, it's not that. It's about, what's her name? Zoe Saldana? Is that
I
her
don't
name?
know.
Colombiana?
I don't know actresses and actors like that. I
No?
call them like by their names. Duh. Ed Gein is Jax Teller. What's his real name? I don't know.
His real name, I know it. Now I just like drew a blank. But anyways, so those were good examples. Secure attachment, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment,
Mhm.
disorganized. Watch out for those patterns.
Yeah.
The point of knowing these things is so that we can begin to identify unhealthy patterns and then build ourselves up
Right.
to make healthier choices, decisions, like heal from this stuff. Like, think about what resonates with you. Insight is your most powerful tool
Right.
because then you can change that shit.
Right. You can't change something if you don't recognize
Mhm.
that it's unhealthy for you.
Yeah.
If you don't recognize that this is toxic or unhealthy behaviors,
Mhm.
why would you change it?
If I feel like I know I'm showing up avoidant or anxious, I can change it. I can start working up so I can show up
Right.
for myself and for my significant other in a more secure, attached style.
Right.
Like we got to be able to build there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not your final destination. Just because you anxious attach, have an anxious attachment style doesn't mean you're always going to be there.
Right.
you can move on, into a better, better place
Yeah.
or better attachment style, I should say.
Yeah.
So we got some questions.
We did. And I feel like we have pretty much answered all of them, but we
Yeah.
can do little takeaways
Yeah.
per se.
Right.
So, can my attachment style change? Yes. We just said, as long as you have insight and as long as you are aware of what your patterns and your behaviors are, you can change them and you can show up in a more secure way, which is, what we discussed before, trusting others, being able to communicate your feelings, being okay with closeness, all of these things. When you feel triggered, ask yourself, where is this coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I feeling like this? And how can I show up differently?
Yeah. Does this only show up in romantic relationships? No. Clearly, we just gave an example how it
Personal.
showed up here, and you think about it. If you're always having these intrusive thoughts, or if you have a friend who be like, girl, like, I just can't take this. You just think everything is, what did you say last time? Everything ain't about you.
Everything about you, boo.
So, no, like, this shows up anywhere.
Yeah.
We can have these unhealthy patterns and attachment styles in different relationships.
Right. How do I move towards secure attachment? Being able to recognize,
That's right.
using the insight, recognizing why you're feeling the way that you're feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to say, like I was saying before, what could be going on for this other person?
Sure. I think most important is recognizing the patterns,
Yeah.
because even if you don't know what to do after that, if you can recognize that and say, oh shit, I might got a little bit of something, something, then I can be like, let me call Diana. Let me call Gabby.
Yeah.
Right? Or seriously, any therapist,
Hey.
or start to, write those patterns down, look through them, think about what you actually want to do instead of being avoidant. What do you want to work towards? Label those things,
Yeah. And even if, let's say, because I think our whole point of making this podcast was for people who don't think that they're ready for therapy, right? So even if you're still at that point and you resonate with the things that we're talking about, there are so many resources out there
Mm-hmm.
that you can use to help, especially learn about this. There's books, there's podcasts, there's workbooks. There are so many different things. I've read Attached. I don't know the authors, but I've read that. There was another book that I read called Wired for Dating that was super helpful in this aspect. So there are so many other ways that if you are nervous to start therapy, or if you don't have the resources to start therapy, there are things that you can do on your own to help with recognizing your patterns. And like you said, write them down, go through them,
Yeah.
learn about yourself, look in the mirror.
Yeah. And a good point that you said, like, just starting this, we all go through these things.
Yeah.
Like, we all have to recognize that we're human and not be scared or have this impression of, what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
We all go through it. We're all human. And we just want you to recognize that. And we love you guys.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode.
See you guys next week.
If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, please follow us on Instagram and send us a DM, or send us an email to the platforms listed below.